My story begins when we moved into that creaky old terrace house on Willow Lane. It was a steal, really. 3 bedrooms, a little garden out back, and just a short walk from the Chippy. Me, my wife Sarah, and our 2 kids, Alfie and Maisie, were chuffed to bits. London prices had driven us out, and this place in the Midlands felt like a fresh start. The walls smelled of damp, and the floorboards groaned like they were alive. But I told myself it was character. That first night, I slept like a log, knackered from lugging boxes. Didn't hear a thing. Wish I could say the same now. The first few days were normal enough. Alfie, who's 8, was obsessed with exploring every cupboard, while Maisie, 5, kept dragging her stuffed rabbit around, chattering to it. Sarah was busy unpacking, humming along to the radio. "This place'll be proper cozy once we've sorted it," she said, smiling at me over a cuppa. I nodded, sipping mine, thinking how lucky we were. Then, that Sunday night, I heard it. A low, rumbling hum, like someone dragging furniture upstairs. I sat up in bed, heart thumping. "Sarah, you hear that?" I whispered. She groaned, half asleep. "It's just the house settling, Tom. Go back to sleep." But it didn't stop. It went on for an hour, faint but constant, like a growl under the floorboards. I didn't sleep a wink. Next morning, I checked upstairs. Nothing out of place. No furniture moved, no marks. Alfie came bounding in, all energy. "Dad, did you hear the man last night?" he asked, grinning like it was a game. I froze. "What man?" He shrugged. "Dunno. He was muttering in my room. Thought it was you." My stomach dropped. "Don't be daft," I said, ruffling his hair, but my voice trembled. Sarah laughed it off when I told her. Kids and their imaginations, eh? Probably a dream. I wanted to believe her, but that hum stuck in my head all day, gnawing at me. A week later, it got worse. I was in the lounge watching telly when the lights flickered. Not just once, over and over, like a strobe. "Bloody electrics," I muttered, grabbing my phone to call the landlord. Then Maisie screamed from upstairs, a proper gut-wrenching wail. I bolted up, nearly tripping, my heart hammering. Sarah was already there, cradling her in the hallway. "What's wrong, love?" she asked, voice shaking. Maisie pointed at the bathroom, sobbing. "The lady in the mirror. She's got no face." I pushed past, hands trembling, and yanked the door open. The mirror was fogged up, but there was nothing. No lady, no face. Just cold air, sharp as a knife, hitting me square in the chest. "It's all right, Maze," I said, forcing a smile. "Just steam, innit?" But my knees were jelly, and Sarah's eyes met mine. Wide, terrified. We didn't say it, but we both knew something was off. Things escalated after that. One night, I woke to footsteps, heavy ones, stomping down the hall. I shot up, fumbling for the cricket bat by the bed. "Sarah, stay here," I hissed, creeping out. The air was thick, like wading through soup, and it stank. Rotten, like old meat. The kid's door was ajar. I peered in, and my breath caught. Alfie's toys were spinning in the air, his little cars, Maisie's rabbit, floating like they were on strings. Then they dropped, crashing to the floor. Alfie sat up, bleary-eyed. "Dad, make it stop," he whimpered. I grabbed them both, dragged them to our room, and locked the door. Sarah was pale, clutching Maisie. "What the hell's going on, Tom?" she snapped, voice cracking. "I don't know," I shouted, louder than I meant. "I don't bloody know." We tried to hold it together for the kids, but the house wouldn't let us. Plates smashed themselves in the kitchen. Shadows darted across walls where no one stood. And that hum, it was louder now, a voice in it, muttering words I couldn't catch. I started digging online, desperate. Found stories about Black Annis, a hag from local folklore, claws like iron, a taste for flesh. People said she haunted old houses, feeding off fear. "Bollocks," I told Sarah, slamming the laptop shut. "It's not real." But she grabbed my arm, nails digging in. Then why's it feel like she's here, Tom? Why are we all scared stiff? The worst came on a Friday night. Rain lashed the windows, wind howling like a banshee. We were in the lounge, huddled under blankets, trying to watch a film. The telly cut out, then the lights. Darkness swallowed us, and the kids screamed. "Mummy, she's here!" Maisie cried, pointing at the corner. I squinted, and, God help me, I saw it. A shape, tall and twisted, with arms too long, clawing at the air. Its face was a black hole, sucking in light. My voice broke as I yelled, "Get out of my house!" It lunged, and I swung the bat, hitting nothing but air. The room shook, pictures crashing off the walls. Sarah sobbed, pulling the kids close. "Tom, we can't stay!" she screamed. I grabbed her hand, trembling. "We're going, now!" We ran, out the door, into the storm, coats flapping. The kids were crying. Sarah was shaking, and I kept looking back, expecting those claws to snatch us. We crashed at her mom's place, soaked and shattered. Next day, I went back alone, guts churning, to grab our stuff. The house was silent, but the air buzzed, heavy with something watching. In the kids' room, I found scratches on the wall. Deep, jagged lines spelling mine. I legged it, heart in my throat, and never looked back. We're renting a flat now, miles away. The kids still have nightmares. Sarah barely talks about it, but I see the fear in her eyes when the lights flicker. Me? I can't sleep without hearing that hum, feeling those claws inches from my neck. I keep asking myself, did we bring it with us? Or did it let us go? Either way, I know one thing: that house wasn't ours. It was hers, and she's still there, waiting.